Good timing.
I
Nice.
got that out. Me too.
It's gonna be a lot of waffling today. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah, what's
Yeah.
what's giving you that feeling?
Well, it's not that many people here, so there's a lot of time. A lot of
Hey,
time.
people are all buried in searching mode right now. Well,
Oh, is that what it is?
it's unfortunate for them because if they were here, they would know that I was planning on giving out a clue,
Bum, 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 bum.
and they might not know it yet. Oh
As long as it's
no!
none of the three that everyone has.
Oh no!
Oh
That's it,
no.
right? That's what I have to decide now. Am I going to give out one of the three that I think probably a lot of people have, or should I give out a different one? Shall I get out a different one, huh? Well,
Just do the
I think I could
easiest
give out
one
a
that's
different
already
one.
like.
I think I could give out a different one.
Totally could. Totally could.
What are the three everyone has?
Well, it's two in one and then one in the other. You know. That's
Two
how
in
it
one
works.
and one in the other. That's very
Yeah.
cryptic.
Yeah,
I
sounds very
appreciate
good.
that. You
You're
want
welcome.
to maintain your chances. That's smart. Don't give it
Well, I
away.
mean, I don't want
Just
to
to
ruin the game
confirm
for other
enough that
people.
I'll know that you know, and
Hmm.
then
That
you know
we
that I
know
know
that
that you
they
know.
know.
I
We
don't,
Yeah.
but I do at the same time.
Best episode of Friends.
Yeah.
Well, it's back rooms, two in back rooms, and one in the story time.
You got it.
Yep.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then in that case, yeah, I'll reward you guys. I'll tell you where one of the other two remaining ones are. In that case, I'll tell you which space they're in.
Ba-ba-ba-bow.
One of two of them, which is
Oh boy.
exciting. Hey, Shoseki, you said you had a couple of questions. Maybe we should do that first. Maybe, I don't know, for the stream, I'll just do the usual rigmarole, even though everybody's out there giveaway hunting. Uh, oh, there's a friendly bush. Friendly blush. Hey, oh, that's a lean. I bet you that's a lean. I know by where she's standing that that's a lean. That's exactly the position Aline stands in.
It is.
Friendly
Yes.
blush. That's your guest name. That's beautiful. Right, for anybody watching at home, how did this get televised, first of all? And yeah, this web page, this is what you want to go to. You've got the Discord and the docs in the top right. That's all you need. So yeah, go ahead, Shoseki. You had some questions. Let me answer your questions. Any
You mute yourself.
unmegaphones? Yeah. No, he's talking away on the stream. Oh no,
Yes, we
Shoseki.
understand. Totally get it.
Oh, he's back. Sure. Yes. A-frame trigger, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'll repeat that for the stream. So, Shoseki, who's live streaming this, is interested to know if you can do bidirectional communication between JavaScript and Unity. He's familiar with the Unity to JavaScript flow, but wants to know if JavaScript to Unity can work. And yeah, in short, yeah. I mean, our legacy SDK also had that. It's called the A-frame event. It was a little bit clunky because you could only do it inside of a kit bundle, which is a prefab based bundle. But you could call an event. It's kind of like the trigger event which you were using. So you can put something instead of a trigger event that gets triggered by trigger colliders. It's an A-frame event that gets triggered by messages from JavaScript land, and that lets you then fire any Unity-based events off the back of that. So JavaScript coming to Unity, firing Unity events. Yeah, the new system, of course, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe a generic interface to Unity events makes sense for the new SDK too, in some form, so that you can just glue things together. It's never bad to be able to have those sorts of interoperability parts surfaced. But yeah, as it stands right now, certainly with the current system, the new SDK v2 build that's out there, which has legacy support inbuilt, the old AFRAME event and AFRAME trigger are the two ways that you can talk back and forth between JavaScript land and Unity. The AFRAME trigger will send messages from Unity to JavaScript, and the AFRAME event will receive messages in Unity from JavaScript. That sounds confusing the way I said it. Kalima, good.
Good to see you too. Yay!
Give
I'm
her
bringing a
hug.
friend over.
There
I
you
Let
go.
see
me
Luke.
find my friend.
Luke
Yes,
and
yes.
Nady, yeah, right behind you.
Oh,
Hey,
there he is.
Luke.
Okay, good, good.
Good to see you.
You dropped
Yeah,
the
Was that
no
blueprint.
weird
problem.
that I knew who you were bringing over?
Choice.
Yes.
He was just right behind you,
Yes.
walking up towards you. So I was just like, take a shot in the dark. Good to see you, Luke.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, everybody's piling in. Yes, that's okay.
Shoseki.
I hope you heard the answer to my question. Maybe you did. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Yes, that's exactly something we want to do with the new SDK. So we'll have like a general
Yay.
set property that you can fire on a material, in effect, which would allow you to change any of the properties that that the shader that material is using has got. And yeah, we just need to map out all the different types, basically, all the primitive types that you can pass in, be it whatever, vectors, floats, spools, whatever it is you need to be able to pass in. We're going to have a generic set property on shaders that allows you to do that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what makes sense. And then you can just do whatever you want with code and set that whenever you want, right? And yeah, obviously it's got to send that message over. There's a very tiny delay, not really that much, but fractions of a millisecond. But generally, you could update that in real time, I think. And maybe what we might do is introduce some Unity side interpolation if it comes to it, if you want to try and have things be super smooth. Yeah, no problem. I should have probably explained that question. I'll do it retroactively, I guess. But yeah, okay. So this is Jeopardy, and I've just given the answer. And the question is, what is the shit with being able to set properties on material shaders in Unity in the new SDK? There you go. Now you can reverse engineer that back into what I just said. Hey Lee, you're heading up to the podium. I see you might have a little question there. Go right
Yeah,
ahead.
it's kind of all off topic, but you may know. Does
Okay.
codec avatars have bones?
Codec avatars like meta codec avatars?
Yeah.
I know that they have feelings and they have dreams. Do they have bones? Ooh, I don't know about that, but I know that they have ambition. I know they have drive, right?
Right.
I know they're people. They're basically people. I mean, I would assume that it's some sort of rigged setup. It's hard to know. I honestly don't know myself, but I would imagine
Yeah.
that it's a similar thing, right? It's most of the stuff is leaning on, I imagine, sort of mocap, and even if you don't have marked points on your face, which maybe you do in those cases with the codecs, or they're
Mhm.
scanning you, I'm not too sure, but they'll be looking for sort of good points to track and then locking in on those around your face, even if it's being done dynamically, right? So that's generally how those things would work. And then those would be fed into blend shapes, I guess, in general, right?
Mhm.
That's how I would assume that would work. Um, and bones. I mean, yeah, if they've got bodies, probably got
If I
bones.
can throw something in.
Go ahead.
Actually, the the hand tracking on the Quest, that's not bones. That's are all just shape keys, and it's a lot of them. It's I think over 200, and they're just blending between different hand poses.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's interesting. I did not
Wow.
know that.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah, I
nuts.
think it's similar to this one since they already have the system, and it's just trained with a lot of training data.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
It's interesting because it seems like if it's light enough, um, you could do that with just about any avatar. You don't have to be a human, but have
Yeah,
a
potentially. I mean, the equivalent, right, with Apple Vision Pro is the personas, right? That's their version of the codecs, and it's already
right.
available if you're crazy enough to spend the money that it takes to buy one of those, which I am. But yeah, those are creepy. My way of getting around the creepiness is that I got Bob to use it, and it scanned Bob's face. So now anytime I use it, it's not me, it's Bob. That's where some of those gifts on the Discord have come from. I've basically stolen his identity. There's a whole thing there, but that's it. I'm keeping it until they force me to rescan. I'm now Bob, and
It
it's
kind of
cool. I can
looks
go, I
like
can go on Discord and everything.
you've been shot up with a bunch of Botox because you're
Oh God.
It's a mad mix of things, honestly, and it's evolving too. Different things were changing. At one point, I couldn't really stick my tongue out, but now I can really stick my tongue out. So it's strange. I can't tell which parts are like blended
yeah,
video feed with, you know, model, 3D model, and some other blend shapes, stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy. This whole thing with like the micro expressions across all of the key areas of your face, like your eyebrows especially, and your mouth especially, and your eyes, of course, right? Those are kind of the key areas, I think, and those are probably
right.
the areas that they focus on a lot. But yeah, it seems like that's what they're going for. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. It seems like what Apple has might be something that could become available to other developers, right? And how you could maybe use that as like a generic avatar system that works
Hmm.
across a number of different apps. Like previously, it was that you could only see the person on the 2D screen through FaceTime or whatever, but now they've actually brought them into the 3D space, so you can have a person's persona standing beside you, which is kind of crazy. Um, so I mean, meta stuff, we've seen videos, but it's not available to anybody who, isn't working internally
Right.
within that project basically. But Apple stuff is obviously available to quite a number of people now. But yeah, I don't know.
And maybe
That's
other
me.
people will make them. So,
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I would say there's going to be a lot of trickery in this. And once it gets broken down and somebody's like, here's the teardown and how it actually does it, it's going to be simpler than we realize. And I imagine it's going to be a combo of blended video with other things. You know, once you've got something on your face, you've got the opportunity to get access to directional video feeds or something like that, maybe. But
Right.
it's definitely
Something
something
else
that
on
could
this
be.
note.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen the latest version from Microsoft for talking heads, where you just provide one image and then it does in real time make a talk based off an audio file. And you can also change the perspective. You can rotate the head around, and it generates also the depth map on runtime. I think this is something we will see more in the future for avatars, that you just provide one image and it will generate everything else on the fly. Because those things are getting more and more better from the quality, better performance, and also less resources.
Yeah, it's true. Which is probably going to mean there'll be a lot of third parties who can offer you something like this, where you can scan yourself
Right.
and turn it into a 3D avatar that can then look like you. I think they're going to be, you know, when it comes to the likes of Meta and Apple, they're probably going to have to be pretty careful about this technology.
Hmm.
So I'd say theirs will probably be somewhat restricted because they're going to be scrutinized, right, by regulatory things. There's going to be all privacy things, like even the fact that I've been able to take Bob's identity.
Right.
Well, Bob's real name is Kevin. We've got a running joke that he's got these two personalities, Bob and Kevin. And you okay there? Oh no! I won't tell you his last name. I won't tell you his last name. Maybe I will. It's kind of funny.
It's a bacon.
But no, I took his Bob persona, and he's left with Kevin. That's what it is now. So I've extracted Bob out of him. Now he can go on with his life as Kevin, as he meant to be. So call him Kevin next time you see him for a laugh, and just yeah, just totally gaslight him. Pretend like, who the fuck is Bob? What are you talking about? Bob man? What's that? Bob works? I've never heard of that. That's totally weird. Right, Static?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for anyone joining us late, congratulations. Because you're going to get the benefit of a little clue to our little ongoing giveaway that we've got going. In fact, what I'll do is I'll refresh everybody that's here on any of the existing ones. I think there's 3 so far that have been generally accepted socially that have been found. I think an hour ago somebody just laid it all out on the Discord in the general chat, and it was there for a good hour before I deleted it, right? But yeah, I'll tell you the spaces, right? That's what I'll do. I'll tell you the spaces that they're in. 4 of the 5, and I'll leave 1, and we'll see if you can find that one later. But yeah, I've also got to cut this short, unfortunately. I'll probably, this will only be a 30-minute event. It's normally an hour event, so I will cut it short. But that's okay, because I'll tell you where the new thing is, and you guys can all jump in, right? So there doesn't have to be that awkward bit where you just hang around for the sake of it when secretly you're all dying to go and find the other thing, right? So I can just release you into the wild, and you guys can do your thing. Go nuts. Whatever it is you got to do, let's do it. And those of you who have already found it, you can go and try and gaslight the people who haven't found it and try and tell them where it is, but not there, right? Tell them to go completely the opposite place that they need to go, right? And those of you who aren't interested can just go and offer moral support to those who are. So there's lots of opportunities here to take part and get involved. Yes. This is the sort of thing that I say whenever I'm waffling to fill time, because what I'm usually doing is waiting for somebody to come up here to the podium to ask a little question. And what I do is I just talk, right? Because I'm from a country called Ireland, and we have an innate skill to do that. And sometimes I continue to talk even though there's people there, and I don't realize. Thank you, Shoseki. That's actually pretty cool. If I forget in the future, maybe you could poke me. That's a nice one, I like that. Pony, what have you got?
I've just got to ask, how's the paintball game coming on?
The paintball game is coming on real nice. right now it's been there's kind of been multiple sort of phases to the journey to date with the SDK. Phase one took about a month, and that was to build out a lot of the structure and components and lifecycle stuff in an isolated project, right? Nowhere near anything to do with Banter, and that's where I actually built out the paintball originally. And yeah, after that, then the next it was supposed to be about a 1.5 months, but ended up being 2 months in total. Was about reintegrating that back into the core of Banter. So now that we've done that and we've got that out, and we're going to have a little bit of time, let's say, uh, on bug fixing before we jump back in. But the very next thing that we want to do is to use that original game in that isolated project and update that now with the latest SDK and build that out. So that's going to be the journey for the next 4 to 5 weeks, hopefully, for us to get to a point where we can now release the full SDK 2.0. Here's the thing, download it, go to Unity, it's up on the asset store, it downloads, it's got a scoped registry thing, it does all its beautiful whatevers and something. And once you download it, right, it'll do all this fancy stuff, like it'll have automatic dependencies. You won't have to go and download stuff from the package manager. It'll just do it itself, right? You won't have to worry about any of that. But what it will also have is just this little button in the package manager that says samples. And you'll have a list of samples that will be included, and that will include the paintball. So you'll be able to pull that in and play with it yourself through the normal Unity packages and samples kind of system. So hopefully that will keep everything nice, neat, and tidy, and allow people to get started, hopefully pretty easily with what the paintball is. And yeah, going from there. But no, I mean, that's honestly, it's been a while since I've been able to get really deep into the paintball again. So I'm pretty excited about that as a next step. And we're growing the team, the engineering team. So all of us are going to get to kind of walk that road, that path together. So I'm really looking forward to that now.
Yeah, we can't
Cheers,
wait.
Pony.
No problem.
Me too. Me too. There might also be 1 or 2 other game examples. Hopefully, we can include along with that. If they don't go with the SDK, they'll come pretty close behind, right? And we'll try and have some stuff you can pull in that shows, what's really possible with it. What's the kind of power that it can have, creating sort of real games, right? Not just trying to work your way around sort of the clunky how maybe you can pull off some mad stuff. I'm excited to see what people can do whenever it actually feels like a legit interface, and things are much easier to kind of pull together and make a lot more sense when you're doing it, right? Because that's what you need when you start to build things like this. When they get good, they start to scale, and things grow. The complexity grows in the project, and the simpler you can start out with a simpler interface, the easier it is to get to those cool levels of complexity that you need to get to do cool things, but without having this big mad spaghetti mess of things that just about barely does it, and sometimes it's a bit jank and it's abusing one thing to make it into something else. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, super excited about it, and the paintball is going to be a great example of that. I can hear Shoseki's keyboard. What have you got for us, Show? Hit me. Not currently. Not currently, but that's something we could explore in future. Typically with the whole access control and who's a mod and who's not a mod, we've struggled to find a way in JavaScript that you could do that it couldn't be faked and people couldn't just make themselves a kind of a mod. But that's something that we're exploring. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, being able to access data around your space. Yeah, I mean there is a webhook system that we have currently on Spaces, so that posts that are made in the space can be sent generally to Discord and stuff like that. I'm sure something like that could probably be yeah, could be commandeered to create a link, and that works right now today. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'd probably just want to know what people would want to do with them, what they'd like to, you know, gain access to, because the post system is honestly it's a little kind of community within a community, really. It works much like Reddit, but you can create multiple categories, right? So it's like a subreddit, but you can have multiple subreddits in each of your spaces. So there's a lot of opportunity to kind of create that separation and division between different things that could feed data into different things. And you'd have an interface through the SideQuest website for people to be able to create information, and then you could feed that in dynamically into a space in some way, right? So yeah, I mean, I think once you kind of start to embrace the open web, there's lots of ways that you can glue things together, as you and I know, Shoseki. So yeah, I mean, that's just to give us the webhook system we've got right now that works with Discord. Will post any posts that are received into a Discord channel, but that's just a JSON blob that's getting posted to a URL. So it's very easy to create an endpoint that can consume that blob and do with it whatever it wants, basically. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a conversation we can keep having. Yeah, I should also retroactively explain. Maybe that's how I'll do this from now on. I'll just Jeopardy the whole thing. But Shoseki was interested to know if there was an API for spaces that people could tap into and make use of in their actual VR space. Let's say. Hey, Iron Wolf, what can I do you for? I think you're muted if you're talking. Can anyone else hear Iron Wolf, or is it just me?
Can you hear me now?
There we
Can you hear me
go.
now?
Can.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It was a wrong source, so yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about the spaces that we have in Bant.ing.
Yes. What about them?
Yeah, so I got my name .bant.ing, but can I have something before my name? So I have like test.myname.bant.ing as well.
That's interesting. In theory, that might be possible in the future, but I think when we discussed it internally, what we were thinking was that we might expose specific endpoints for you through subdomains, right? That there might be something in future where we could have, let's say it's ironwolf.bant.ing, right? That's your address.
Yes.
That's your
Yes.
claimed name, right? That we might
Yeah.
create something like api.ironwolf.bant.ing, and that allows you to have some kind of backend. I don't know if this is something that we will do, but I'm just trying to give you some insight into our train of thought internally. So right now, as it stands, you can't change that and have a different have a subdomain. But it is something that we've considered in future, and it's not something that is really all that prohibitive, let's say, in terms of the technicalities of implementing it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shane.
So, yeah, I'd love to hear your use case. If you do have some ideas, please dump them into the Discord. What do you want to do? You just want to create test versions of your own space, kind of?
Yeah, or I
that
want
the
to
idea?
do worlds where I have my name as associated to it somehow.
Something dot something, just iron dot
Yeah.
wolf. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. That's really interesting.
Just a quickie.
Oh boy.
Not that kind of quickie.
Oh no.
Uh,
Go ahead, Lee.
I think it'd be cool if
Disappointed,
we.
by the way.
This is just a kind of suggestion or some way to communicate between worlds. Maybe using like a walkie-talkie type.
Yeah. I mean, this is interesting. This has come up a lot recently. when just yesterday I was at the 420 event and we jumped from Tech Waffle into it, and there I was on the screen. You could see me. That was kind of a live stream from one world to another, which is we've talked about this as well, of having like a radio broadcast system where maybe one
Right.
world and one space could broadcast to others. Maybe that's one way, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Like right now, the way things work on Banter is that most of our audio is running through a third-party service called Photon, which is we've been having some trouble with lately. Some of you might have seen the message I put on the Discord. But the megaphone that I'm using, and that whenever I click on somebody and they're talking, is actually going through our own infrastructure. So there's a possible opportunity there for us to be able to break out of the normal isolated kind of room-based system that Photon has and have something that could traverse technically multiple rooms. That's basically how Megaphone works right now. It's going across all of the rooms at once through our own infrastructure rather than oh boy.
You're
Did I disconnect?
Your megaphone.
you don't
You
sound like
disabled
you're on
your
Megaphone.
Oh no. Interesting. Okay. We are tracking some bugs, and I
There it
think
is.
I'm experiencing one of them right now. So I'm just going to try and rejoin real
You're
quick.
back.
There you go.
No,
You're
you're back.
You're
I
back.
got you.
You're
Yeah.
back.
I just
I'm
had to
back?
put you on megaphone.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
don't rejoin.
Interesting. 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 Yes, Shiseki says we are in the event. End of the event. End of the event. Sorry, yes, I'm a couple minutes over. That's no problem. Well, look, yeah, guys, honestly, we do this every week. Usually it's 1 hour long. Today it's only 30 minutes. Apologies for that, but I will reward you with an extra clue to the current giveaway that we've got going on, right? So let's start out with some of the spaces that we already know, right? So yesterday we put out a clue and we said that there's not only one click me button in the back rooms, there's actually two. So everybody that's here, you now know that there are two of those buttons if you don't already know. You're all looking at me like, of course we bloody know that. What the hell are you talking about? The other quite obvious one that has already been discussed, which I'll just give you for free, right? Is in the story time space. Okay, so you're looking for a similar thing, a little click me button, you find it, and yeah, it reveals a web address that will get you to a hidden giveaway, a giveaway that is only accessible via that address. And those are the ones that are known already. So that's 3 out of the total 5. I'm going to give you another one, and then there'll be one left. And we can talk about clues for that at another time. But the extra one I'm going to tell you about is in the Slipstream Island. So that's a total of 4
Oh,
of
man.
5.
Massive.
Oh my
Of course.
god.
5 hours later.
Yeah,
Oh, that
we
was-
spent hours in the
It's no more
Highlands.
massive than the back rooms. I mean, come on. Come on. Okay, we'll see, right? There can be more clues. If you guys are stressing, you can't find it in a day or a week or a month or something, who knows? I'll give you more clues. But yeah, and there's still another space somewhere else that I can tell you about that has another button. So yeah, that's it. That's all of it. You can now all
Wow.
go and go crazy in the Slipstream Island. I'll tell you what. I'm
I will
feeling
go crazy.
I'm feeling generous. I will tell you that it is nowhere near the mountain. That's a big
Oh my
deal.
God.
I've saved you a huge amount.
That is a big
a
deal.
huge amount.
Yeah.
A huge
That's
amount.
true.
It is nowhere near the mountain. Okay, so if you think the Slipstream is massive, which it is, honestly, it's a massive space.
It
It's
is.
huge and expansive. Probably one of the most complicated spaces that Aline has created, the Slipstream Island. That was her Everest. Triffid, are you dancing with somebody? Is that what's going on here? It looks like you're going like this.
No, 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 no.
It
One
literally
of my
looks like you're
things, one of my
dancing.
things.
Because you got your foot, you got your hand in
That's
front like
it,
this, and the other
that's
hand
it.
up like
Oh,
this. It's like
that's
a Somebody dance with Trippet. Oh my god, that was great. I just looked over there and it just looked like you were totally dancing. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so yeah, Slipstream Island. It could be in the little forest areas. It could be in the beach area. It could be in and around the water. It could be somewhere around the dock. Yeah,
Is
it's not
a
in the
big
mountain.
button
That's
or a small button?
that I cannot tell you. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh.
We will see. Have you already found it, Lee?
No, but I was thinking about the. Well, why am I? I shouldn't tell y'all. I
These
was
kind of
like,
things are weird. They turn brethren against brethren. It's fun. But yeah,
Actually,
let's
I've
keep
been
it going.
sharing where they are with my friends. So. I don't
Oh
care.
no!
Yeah,
No,
I don't-
Divine.
As long as my friends win or I win, it don't matter. As long I don't care.
That's right.
I don't
'cause
care. It's
you'll
just
just-
fun. It's
Each of
just
you will
fun.
take a tiny piece of it. You'll cut it into 5 or whatever, and you each get a
Yeah,
part.
yeah, exactly.
Somebody gets 2 controllers and then cut the headset into. It's actually cake. It's cake.
I would love to win one, but whatever. I would love my friends to win one too. So
We'll just give it to Moto. We get
Yes.
one.
We'll all just agree right now, as a platform, we can come together, right, and just say,
Yeah.
let's just give it to Moto.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do that, right? Let's just say, fuck it. Moto's getting one. Outside of all of this, you heard it now. Is it still on the stream, Shiseki?
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Still on the stream, right? There's 5 in the competition. That's a total of 6. Moto's getting one. Whoever sees him first, you can break the news to him. And remind me if I forget, right? Because I've got to tell Bob. But Faye's here. Faye's got my back. You've got my back, Faye, right? There we go. Random act of kindness.
Marvellous.
I love it. I
Well
get a
done.
serious buzz out of it.
Yay.
But anyway, I've got to bounce. I would love to stick around, guys. I might actually be back in a little bit. Yeah, I won't be here for Aline's event, unfortunately, but you should all definitely hit that up in about 22 minutes. Aline is going to be taking you through something to do with 3D Workshop. I see Aline is saying no. She's shaking her head. Maybe what's going on? You going to tell us something, Aline?
She's dancing.
Don't come. It's boring.
Don't come, it's boring. That's what she says.
Say something like
People who
that.
say that,
I knew
we
it.
know it's not. But
Now
yeah,
we have
let's
to
all
go.
play along.
Yeah.
Okay, Aline, we won't come. We'll all just stand
Yeah.
outside and we'll be in the Crystal Lake. We'll watch it on the live stream. We'll watch it on the live stream from the Crystal Lake. How about that? Anyway, thanks guys. Really enjoyed it. Stay tuned. As I've said, there'll be more clues to come randomly at random events. That's the plan over the next little while. So let's see if you guys can find the one on the Slipstream Island. If not, we'll see if we can give out some more clues. I give you I'd say about 20 minutes, and you'll probably
Yeah,
find it.
so-
But anyway,
We'll find it in 20 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
but
Research there for
yeah,
hours
enjoy.
already.
But I'll see you guys in a bit.
See you now.
Thank you, Shane.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
shit.
Thank you.
Put it way up there.